Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you to the Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav 2024 organized by Indian Institute of Information Technology, Senapati, Manipur. Today we are gathered here to celebrate the rich linguistic and cultural diversity of our nation and to honor the legacy of one of the India's greatest literary icons, Mahakavi Subramanyam Bharati.
It's an honor to have such distinguished personalities with us today. Allow me to introduce the dignitaries gracing this occasion. Our chief guest, Kalai Mamani Dr. Chon, former director of All India Radio and founder secretary of MTS Academy, Chennai. Our guest of honor, Mrs. Bharti Bhaskar, a banker, motivational speaker and writer. Our president for today's event, Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, director of IIIT Senapati, Manipur. Let's give them a big round of applause for being with us today. I invite to come up on stage, sir. Now, I request our director, sir, to felicitate our chief guest. To invoke the blessings of the Almighty, let us begin this event with a beautiful prayer song.
We invite our dignitaries, chief guest, and our director, sir, to come forward and light the lamp. Thank you, esteemed guest, for lightening up our event. To formally commence the event, we now invite Malem Gani ma'am to deliver the welcome note.
Good morning, one and all. First of all, I would like to thank you so much for patiently waiting for us to start the program. We regret that we are not able to start it on time, but we are very grateful that we have such a great audience. Thank you all. It is my honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt welcome to everyone on this joyous occasion of Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav 2024, organized at our institute, IIIT Manipur, in city campus, Mantripukri. Language is the soul of our cultural identity, and today we gather here to celebrate the richness and diversity of Bharatiya Bhashas, the Indian languages. that weave the fabric of our shared heritage. To lead us through this celebration, we are blessed with the presence of distinguished personalities whose achievements and contributions inspire us all. Firstly, I'm delighted to welcome our esteemed president for today's program, Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, the Honorable Director of IIIT Manipur. Thank you, sir, for your gracious presence. We are deeply honored to have as our chief guest Kalama Mani Dr. Cheon, former director of All India Radio, a trailblazer in the broadcasting and media, and the founder secretary of the renowned MTS Academy, Chennai. Dr. Cheon's dedication to preserving and promoting linguistic and cultural diversity has left an indelible mark on our society. Sir, your presence elevates this event manifold. Our next guest, our chief guest, guest of honor, although she is not present with here physically, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome Mrs. Bharti Bhaskar, an accomplished banker, celebrated motivational speaker, and acclaimed writer. She is with us here online. I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to the faculty, students, non-teaching staff, and all the members of our institute who have joined us today. Your enthusiasm and participation makes this event a true celebration of language and culture. I would also like to take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to the media representatives present with us. Your support in covering and promoting events like this is invaluable in spreading the message of cultural preservation and linguistic pride. As we embark on this day filled with insightful discussions and reflections on the beauty of Bharatiya Bhashas, let us remember that the diversity of our languages is our strength. They connect us to our roots while enabling us to embrace the future. Once again, I welcome you all to Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav 2024. Let this day be a celebration of our unity in diversity and a step towards preserving the legacy of our languages for generations to come. Thank you, and I wish you all a wonderful and enriching experience.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words and for setting the stone for this celebration. Now, it's time to immerse ourselves into the legacy of Mahakavi Subramanya.
Celebrations for one of the greatest poets India has produced. Today we are celebrating his birthday, and it is an emotional moment for me, because not only am I a fan of the great poet Subramanya Bharati, but I also have the privilege of sharing his name. My name is also Bharati, and I am named after the great poet because my mother was a great fan of poet Subramanya Bharati. That is why she named me Bharati, and hence sometimes people get confused whether I am a male or a female, because this name in Tamil Nadu is used by both the genders. And thanks to Subramanya Bharati, the great poet, a lot of people assume that this is the name which is normally given only to a male member. But my mother has transcended the barriers of gender, and she has given this name to me. And I feel very privileged that I am sharing my name with this poet. And I was pleasantly surprised by the response of the audience in this auditorium, even though I am not. So let me start with a brief story about Subramanya Bharati. It's not a story, it's an event that happened in his life. For some time, Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati lived in Pondicherry. Some of you might have heard about this small union territory adjacent to Tamil Nadu. So in Mahakavi Subramanya Bharatiya's days, Tamil Nadu, as we call it today, was actually called the Madras Presidency. Madras Presidency was under the rule of the British. The neighboring Pondicherry was under the rule of the French. So those patriots who were searched for by the British government sometimes took shelter in Pondicherry. The great Aravinda Ghosh, I am sure you have heard about him. He was a Bengali by birth, but he was also a patriot, was also living in Pondicherry because he did not want to live in the areas dominated by the British rule. So Bharatiyar and Aravinda Ghosh were contemporaries and they were living in Pondicherry. So this is something that happened in Bharatiyar's life when he was living in Pondicherry. His neighbor was a small girl. She was probably 11 or 12 years of age. So she used to come to Bharatiyar's house quite often. One day, Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati took a train to a nearby place and he came back home. And he was sharing an interesting incident that happened during his travel. And you could imagine the trains of those days. There were no Vande Bharat trains or Shatabdis in those days. So, in the low technology segment of trains, he has taken a train travel and he was explaining that his co-passengers were a couple, a husband and a wife. They both were traveling along with Mahakavi Subramanya Bharatiya. The wife was always putting her head down like this. She never once lifted her head to even see the co-passengers. Once the train stopped in a station and the husband got down briefly to fetch water or some foodstuff. The moment the husband stepped down, the wife now lifted her head, looked up at Subramanya Bharatiya, who was a young man at that time, and she asked him a lot of questions just out of curiosity and inquisitiveness. So she asked his name, whether he was married, whether he had children, how old were the children, what was his profession, what was his salary, was he living in his own house or in a rented house? Typical questions that your grandmother probably used to ask in those days. So Bharati was answering all these questions, and the moment the husband stepped in, the lady stopped all her questions, again put down her head and never lifted her head even once till the time the travel was continuing. So Mahakavi Bharati shared this incident with his wife and the girl in the neighborhood, and he said, this lady wants to talk to me. So why can't she talk to me when the husband was there? She was quiet all along when the husband was there. The moment he stepped out, she asked me all those questions. Why are women behaving like this? Bharatiyar asked this question and the little girl answered him back. She said she wouldn't dare talk in the presence of her husband. You know why? Because the rulers do not let the slaves talk in their presence. In our society, the husband is behaving like a ruler and the wives behave like the slaves. So why would she want to open her mouth in the presence of the dominant force in the society? This question really made Subramanya Bharati think a lot and pity for the position that women were held in those days and ages. So he wrote his famous poetry, which I am going to narrate in Tamil and then I am going to give you the translation. Subramanya Bharati wrote these lines. Aanum pennum nigar ena kolvadal arivilongi vayyam thalaikuma. The place that woman and man will have to share in the society is equal in the pedestal of wisdom and knowledge. The moment the world recognizes that a woman is just not a body, but she has a soul of her own, She has a mind of her own, and she has brains of her own, and she has knowledge and wisdom of her own, which in no way is less when compared to that of her male counterpart. That is when this world is going to awaken in the eyes of knowledge. This is the rough translation of the poem that he wrote. My dear students and members of the audience and the dignitaries present, I want all to recognize that these lines were written by Mahakavi Bharati when he himself was just about 23 years old, and it was written in the early part of the 20th century. He probably wrote this poetry during 1918 or 1919. Can you even imagine a male member thinking that a woman is at par with him when it comes to intellect, knowledge and wisdom? Can you even imagine anybody having these thoughts in 1990s? And that is Subramanya Bharati for you. He was always ahead of his time. I'm going to give you the second example. And this is thought-provoking because I'm an engineer myself, and most of you in this audience are engineers, you're technicians, you're technocrats, you're technologists. You are building the future of tomorrow. During the early 20th century, during 1919s and 1980s, the common belief was this: a poet is never going to like technology, isn't it? And let me give you one example. Rabindranath Tagore, who's one of the greatest poets that this country has produced. Tagore was very much against technology. He believed that beauty and missions cannot coexist. Beauty has to be preserved in its own, and hence he was against the large-scale technology and the large-scale mechanization. So was the feeling of Mahatma Gandhi himself. While they welcomed machines and technology, they never believed in large-scale mechanization. They did not believe in big factories to come in. And that was the thought process of that time and age. But do you know what Mahakavi Bharati sang in those times? He said that beauty is power and power is beauty. Valimai or Alagu, Alagu or Valimai. These were his exact words in Tamil. So he even called the people of India to raise up to the new age of industrial revolution and technology revolution. He asked the people, smelt the iron in your factories. Irumbai kaachi urikiduvire. Build machines. That's the only way that this country will wake up in the eye of the progress. Karumbai charu pizhindiduvire. Use sugarcane and do a mass scale production of the sugarcane juice. Karumbai charu pizhindiduvire. Kadalil moolginal muttadipire. Dive into the ocean and bring out the wealth of the ocean. So he really encouraged people to adapt, to make themselves available to the new awakening technologies of the world. And he even had a dream that India one day should make its own paper and India one day should make its own missiles. He exactly said this. And that was the time when India was not even making a pin. There was nothing that was produced in India at that time. But Subramanya Bharati had a dream and a vision where he said India will one day make its own paper, make its own missile. And that's exactly what we are doing today. My dear friends, it's almost 100 years since Mahakavi Bharati passed away. So it's more than 100 years. This is the 101st year after his death. But if you just think about the path that he traversed, I am really appalled and surprised at the same time. Because for the thinkers, taking the first step is extremely difficult. So when Charles Darwin probably wrote The Origin of Species, he was the first one to declare to the world that God did not create every living thing during a span of time, and the species have evolved from one another. When he came out with this theory, he was probably the only person in the world who believed in his theory, and everybody was against him. So the first thinker, the first person who comes out with an idea, it's always very difficult for him because there is no road before him. He has to create the road with his ideas and thoughts. That's exactly what Subramanya Bharati did. So let me share another incident with you, and you will understand how much was he ahead of his time. So Bharati's disciple was another poet by name Bharati Dasan. So Subramanya Bharati and his disciple Bharati Dasan, they both were in Pondicherry, and they went to a tea stall. You will be surprised as to why is it such a big issue for two people to be in a tea stall. It's so common these days, but during that time, the stalls in the roads were meant for people who were ostracized by the society and who were deemed to be in the lower tiers of the caste system. Subramanya Bharati and his friend Bharati Dasan were both drinking tea in a tea stall. And people were looking at Subramanya Bharati and saying, you were born in a caste that was actually thought of to be in the higher tiers of the caste system. How can you drink tea in a stall like this? Subramanya Bharatiya was so irritated by that comment that he actually told his friend and student Bharati Dasan that this caste system will go away only when intercaste marriages happen. He made this statement when intercaste marriage was a term that was not even existing in the society. When he made this reference, his friend and his disciple Bharati Dasan looked up at him in admiration, and Subramanya Bharati told him, I am not a person who is going to stand on a pedestal and advise others. I want this to happen even in my own home. I have two daughters, and if one of the daughters or even both of them get married to a person of a different caste, I am going to be absolutely happy and I am going to bless them. So Subramanya Bharati was not a man who taught others. He lived by examples. He actually sang a song in which he said, ஏழை என்றும் அடிமை என்றும் எவனும் இல்லை ஜாதியில் இழிவு கொண்ட மனிதர் என்பது இந்தியாவில் இல்லையே. There is nobody who is downtrodden either by the tier of his caste or by the wealth that he has. Everybody equal in this country, and that is the dream that I want to come through to realize. So now you will understand why I call him as a person who was ahead of his time. When he sang the song, it was in early 1990 or 1980, when the caste system was so dominant that Bharati made a statement that people should be judged by their deeds, not by the caste in which they were born in. If there is a person who belongs to the lower tier in the caste system, but he is a philanthropist, I would place him much above another person who was born in a higher tier in the caste system, but who was just a go-between or who doesn't support others. So Mahakavi Bharati had a dream or a vision in which everybody was equal and one would be higher than the other only if he is a person of good deed, good morals and good ethics. So that's why I call him somebody who was always ahead of his time. You will be surprised to note that Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati, while he wrote dominantly in Tamil language, he was able to write, read and speak in at least 7 languages. He actually knew 9 languages, out of which in 7 languages he could read, write and he could speak. And after his knowledge across several languages, he made a statement to say that out of all the languages that I know, I think Tamil is the one which is very sweet. A language which has been living for the last 2000 years plus. And your director did mention about Tirukkural, and I was very, very excited to see the reference that he made about Inna Seidare Oruthil, Avarnana Nannayam Seiduvidal. The best punishment that you could give to somebody who erred on you is not to take revenge, but to do something good for that person, so that that person really feels shy in his heart. That's exactly the meaning of the Tirukkural that he shared. And this incident actually happened in Subramanya Bharatiyar's life. When he was living in Pondicherry, I mentioned that to you, that those people who wanted to evade the police following them in British India would go to places that were ruled by French in those days. That's why he moved to Pondicherry. But when he was living in Pondicherry, the spies from the police of the British used to sneak into Pondicherry, so that they just wanted to hand over Subramanya Bharati to the British police so that they will get something in return. So Bharati was always followed by, Subramanya Bharati was always followed by spies. One day, a spy from British India sneaked in, and he even came to the house of Subramanya Bharati. Subramanya Bharati offered him something to drink, something to eat, and that person tried to take Bharatiyar with him so that he crosses the boundary of Pondicherry and enters into British India so that he could be arrested. In the last minute, some friends spotted that Bharatiyar was almost falling a prey to this, and they stopped him. After this incident happened, the same man visited Bharatiyar, and Subramanya Bharati still offered him something to drink and something to eat. His wife was extremely angry. She said, "This was the man who tried to get you arrested, and you are still offering him something?" And Subramanya Bharati quoted this Tirukkural that your director just narrated. Inna Seidare Oruthil, Avarnana Nannayam Seiduvidal. The best way to punish somebody who erred is to do something good to that person. He quoted this Tirukkural. So that is how great men get connected by great ideas. I'm just going to end my brief speech on Bharatiyar by quoting something which really makes me feel absolutely proud about the fraternity of poets that we have in this country. So we are now segregated by narrow domestic walls, isn't it? That we are segregated by the concept of caste, the concept of religion, the concept of language, and we see ourselves fighting amongst ourselves saying, mine is better and yours is not good. Subramanya Bharati rose above all these narrow domestic walls, and he looked up at the sea of humanity and he said, "Kakkai kuruvi engal jati, nil kadalum malayum engal kootam." You know what this means? He not only said that all men and women are equal, he said that this cosmos, this universe belongs to everybody, and hence a crow and a sparrow belongs to my tribe. The mountains and the rivers belong to my caste. So we are all one when we stand in front of this universe. This mighty universe and cosmos is so vast, so large, that we in front of such large truths of the universe, we are very, very petty individuals. So why do we have to fight among ourselves? This is exactly what Subramanya Bharati stood for. Like I told you, he was a man who believed in science. Like several other poets who would shun away from scientific truths, Bharati was not that man. He wanted to be the first in bringing any new changes. So he was the one who wrote, who came across with modern poetry for the first time for Tamil language. He even referred to haiku, a form of poetry by Japanese, and he wanted to try that out in other languages. Subramanya Bharati was the one who looked up into the world affairs, and he started column writing, which we all do these days. He was the first one to have started that. He was the first one to have brought out a magazine exclusively for women in Tamil. He was the first one to draw a cartoon in his magazine for the first time. So he was the one who did several firsts, but lived for a very, very short period. Subramanya Bharati even gave us one scientific fact. In those days, it was thought that Marconi was the person who invented radio. So to make sound travel without a wire, that was the concept that everyone believed that Marconi was the first one to have done that. Subramanya Bharati has written an article in which he said that Jagadish Chandra Bose of Bengal, who we all know as a botanist, was not only a botanist, but he was a physicist as well. He was the one who first let sound travel without a wire, but he did not take the copyright of his invention, and hence the credit went to Marconi. And even today we are in our lessons that Marconi was the one who invented the radio. Subramanya Bharati has written an article about this, saying the credit should not go to Marconi, but it should go to Jagadish Chandra Bose, who belonged to India. Such was his love for the nation. Such was his love for humanity. So with this brief introduction, I just want to thank you all for the excellent opportunity given to me. And when the Honorable Director invited me, I was just thinking that Manipur, as we see in the media today, is supposed to be burning. So how are you celebrating a poet? So he told me that what you see in the media is not always what is the reality that is happening. We are a beautiful place, and when you visit us next, he promised me that he is going to show me around this place. So I am living very far from you guys, but we are united by our spirit. We are united by the nation that has given us the greatest virtues. We are united by the poets who have belonged to every part of India, but whose view of the nation was the same. So I am extremely honored to be a part of this celebration, and Subramanya Bharati will be remembered for centuries. He did not belong to an era or a period of time. He belonged to the humanity. He was timeless, and he is spaceless. So he will be celebrated everywhere, and as a first step, we are celebrating him across India. I am absolutely delighted to be a part of this celebration. We will take the name of Subramanya Bharati everywhere, because he belonged to every century, every human being, wherever he lives or wherever she lives. With these words, I want to thank you immensely for the opportunity given to me, and I hope to see your beautiful place in times that would come in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your such a thought-provoking and inspiring session. Up next, we have our chief guest, Kalaimamani Dr. Chion, who will speak on Mahakavi Subramanyam Bharati, a glittering star of national poets.
Honorable former Vice Chancellor and present Director, Dr. Professor Krishnan Bhaskarji, Registrar, most respectable Registrar Ji, Professors of this IIIT Manipur, and all the students, youngsters, very good afternoon to you all. Almost 1:15, right? Hope you are all waiting for the time to get your lunch, The time has come. Right. It's a great pleasure for me to present a talk on Mahakavi Bharatiyar in connection with his 143rd birthday celebrations. Mahakavi Bharatiyar, a glittering star of national poets. On this topic, I would like to share my thoughts and views to you. Right? My dear youngsters, I hope from morning till 1:15 you are here. I request all of you to sit erect. Why you know? But see, when you sit erect, then you will be increasing 2 inches height. Come on, sit erect, all of you. Don't lean on the chair. Let the chair be lean, not you. Right? Be straight. I'm going to tell you one thing. See, let us take a pledge. See, we have our honorable, see why, earlier director, Professor Dr. Krishnan Bhaskar was former Vice Chancellor, Manon Madiyam Sundaranar University. And now he is present here, Director, IIITM, Manipur. I used to call him as Vice Chancellor. Hello, Vanakkam Vice Chancellor sir. I used to tell him. Why, he is such a dynamic person. I wanted to congratulate him for arranging this wonderful program in connection with the Bhasha Utsav, Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav. Really great. And he has lighted Kuttu Velakku, make the function a grand success. Mrs. Bharati Bhaskar, she gave an excellent speech, delivery just now before me. Excellent talk. You would have enjoyed much. My dear youngsters, all of you raise your hand like this. Come on, quick. Not like that. Shoulder level. Aspire. Louder. With all. Aspire. Again. Aspire. Acquire. Achieve. Aspire. Acquire. Achieve. Thank you very much. Why See these 3 mantra, 3 slogans. Aspire, acquire, achieve. Derived from Mahakavi Bharatiyar, New Atisudi. Mahakavi Bharatiyar wrote number of poems. He is still remembered even after 142 years. Why? Because of his immortal work. He is a multifaceted personality. That too, I want to emphasize here how he is a glittering star of national poets. If I say so, then who are all the national poets? How do we differentiate poets for others from national poets? All these questions are arising. Mahakavi Bharatiyar plays a significant role and a glittering star of all the national poets. How? As I told you earlier, Mahakavi Subramania Bharatiyar lived 38 years alone. Even our director spoke earlier, within a very short period, how he proved his worth, and he is still living in our memory. That is his contributions to language, literature, and to the nation. Right? So number 1. Second, Rabindranath Tagore, as you all aware, where the mind is without fear when the head is held high, where the knowledge is free, into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. For want of time, I am just shortening the poem and telling you, right? So Rabindranath Tagore, a Nobel laureate, we have to think. Then another one, Rabindranath Tagore only gave us our national anthem song, Janagana Mana. You all know very well. Then Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram Yenbo, Vande Mataram Yenbo, Yengal Manila Taye Vanangudum Yenbo, Vande Mataram Yenbo. Who sang this? Mahakavi Subramania Bharatiyar. What is the term given by whom? Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. In which book? Anandamat. novel Anandamat, in which only Vande Mataram song. That song, see, we worship our country, our nation. You know, Mahakavi Bharati only told India, Bharat, Bharata Mata ki Jai. We used to say, you know, Bharata Mata ki Jai. See how that is patriotic fervor. Again, Bharata Mata ki Jai. Super. So, Vande Mataram என்போம் எங்கள் மாநில தாயை வணங்குதும் என்போம் Vande Mataram என்போம். Not like that. You sing correctly. 1 minute. See, that is in Tamil. Understand? Again, all of you sit erect. Yeah, very good. Sit erect and sing along with me. Right? Only 2 lines. Can't you sing? You can. Right? Vande Mataram என்போம். Not another sound. Again. See, listen carefully and say correctly. Vande Mataram என்போம். எங்கள் மாநில தாயை வணங்குதும் என்போம். Excellent. You spoke very well. Good, good. That is, my dear youngsters, my dear students, you are all very young. See, you must develop that patriotic fervor which was initiated by Mahakavi Bharatiyar. Not now, so many years back. But even that song is still relevant to our period. And this was third one, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, national poets. Then fourth one, Sarojini Naidu. Probably would have heard about it. Sarojini Naidu, she wrote English poems. She wrote some excellent patriotic songs also. Her Awake, a call to the nation to rise against the colonialism, that is British Samraj. She wrote number of poems against the rule of British Samraj. Then another poet you must be knowing, Muhammad Iqbal. Sare jahan se acha. Very good. See, look here. My dear youngsters, look here. Sare jahan se acha. Hindustan hamara, hamara. Sare jahan se acha. See, excellent song sung by whom? Muhammad Iqbal. Excellent song. Even now, it's a marching tune. Even in all our national level functions. Maha Utsav. When we go for on March, I was a senior under officer in NCC, National Cadet Corps, and B certificate holder. I'm happy to tell you, I have fired more than 300 bullets in .303 rifle. You know, with all, see, listen, with all happiness I am telling, I am recollecting my college days. You know, at that, when we were in NCC, I like NCC, National Cadet Corps. See, really, it's an excellent training. Even now, because I was a company commander, student company commander. You know, company commander, one professor will be there. Next to him, one student commander will be there. Under him, 3 platoons will be there. Each platoon will have 30 plus 1. One platoon will have a leader, 30 plus 1. 3 platoons, almost 90 plus 3. For all the 93, one student captain will be there. I was there as a student captain. I have commanded so that when I come on the stand on the dais, I used to ask the entire audience to keep quiet, listen to me and do well. In what? That is the discipline I learned through NCC. Mind it. See why I am telling this, when we march, we should look at 100 yards, not 100 feet. 100 yards, that means 300 feet. Your eyesight should be 300 feet. That's what Mahakavi Bharati says. Nimirnda nannadai, nergonda parvai, timirnda ஞான செருக்கு, நிலத்தில் யார்க்கும் அஞ்சாத நெறிகள். Who says? Mahakavi Bharatiyar says. What he says? What he says? See, look, stand erect, not sit erect. Stand erect. Walk steadily. Walk majestically. Who says? Bharatiyar says. See, how we have to behave, said by Mahakavi Bharatiyar. I will come to the next. Now Muhammad Iqbal, Sare Jahan se Acha. Fifth point, right? Sixth one. Qazi Nazrul Islam, 1899 to 1976, pre-independence. Is a language in Bengali he has written patriotic songs. Bidroli, that is the rebel, a call to overthrow the oppression, slavery. He also sang some poems on patriotic. Then he speaks of perseverance and unity in diversity. That is, Nazrul's fiery works inspired revolutionaries and workers during the freedom struggle. This is another one. Then, seventh one, Ramdari Singh Dinkar. Ramdari Singh Dinkar, 1908 to, listen, 1908 to 1974. Okay? He wrote some patriotic songs. Parasuram Ki Pradiksha, one poem, a very interesting one. He addresses social justice, social injustices in the post-independence era. That is after independence. Dinkar's poetry focused on both the independence and post-freedom. Then the final one is Mahadevi Verma. These 8 poets wrote patriotic songs, almost considered as national poets. Among all the national poets, how Bharati excels others. Even his first song, see, I have a compilation of book, Mahakavi Bharatiyar, with me. Your director, honorable director, requested me to get the English translation of Mahakavi Bharatiyar. You know, Mahakavi Bharati not only poems, he wrote essays, he wrote stories, he wrote number of poems in varied topics, in varied formats, including new verses, ancient, folk songs, in different types of poems. All his works have been translated in 2 parts, published in 2 parts by Sahitya Academy. Your director asked me, you purchase and bring for our students. I request all of you, kindly go to your library and see the works of Mahakavi Bharatiyar in 2 volumes, in translated version of Tamil poems in English. Excellent translation. Published by Sahitya Academy, our government of India. One of the independent body, they have done extremely well. Why I am telling this, such a wonderful poet, Mahakavi Bharati, so that we are declaring him as a glittering star. Another one, you must find it. See, whatever as rightly said by our director, Mahatma Gandhi wanted to read Tirukkural in its original language. He said, I wanted to learn Tirukkural through its original language Tamil, so I want to learn Tamil. So also I am telling you, though you are reading English version, have some knowledge about Tamil to read its original. That's what I wanted to insist here. See, even my first book is on Bharati. What's the title, you know? A poet who forgot to sing lullaby. You know lullaby? Talattu. Lullaby songs, you know, in mother will sing songs to make their children sleep. That is lullaby. That lullaby songs written by many poets. Bharatiyar, Bharatidasan, Kabimani, there are number of poets who wrote lullaby songs. But Mahakavi Bharati did not write lullaby. He wrote more than thousands of poems, but he didn't sing lullaby. Why? He wants to awake the country, awake the people, not to make them sleep. Understand? Why? Listen. Say, I will tell in Tamil, then only you will know the punch of it. You will realize the importance of it. மதலையர் எழுப்பவும் தாய் தூயில் வாயோ மாநில தாயே இகுது உணராயோ. See the voice, the sound. Madalayar, child. The child is patting mother, wake up. What is it? Normally what will do? Mother will wake the child. Here, the child is patting mother, Ma, get up. I am awakened, but you are still sleeping. Get up. Who says? Child says. To whom? To her mother. Said by whom? Mahakavi Bharati. Madalaya, children, child. எழுப்பவும், patting and making awake. Thai, mother. Sleep. Thai, tuyil, sleep. மதலையர் எழுப்பவும் தாய் துயில்வாயோ மாநில தாயே இகுதுணராயோ. That is poem. தாயே unarayo, sound. See, his original versions should be realized. Sing, you have to sing the song. Then only you will get the spirit of it. Right? My first book, what you know? Mahakavi Bharati wants to awaken the people because they are already slaves. By whom? British people. What's this period? Before independence. So that he wanted to awaken the country. So he didn't sing lullaby. He sang only awakening song. Palli Elichi Padal. That is awakening songs. First book, a poet who forgot to sing lullaby to make the country awake. We have to appreciate that poet. That poet is nothing but Mahakavi Bharati, our national poet. A glittering star of national poets. Then second book I wrote, Manathai Uruda Mahan. You know Guru Nanak ji, you would have heard about Guru Nanak. He was asked to go and plough his fields by his father. He gave money to Guru Nanak ji. He took the money to the market to get the products to make the land, to plough the land. But when he went there, he didn't go to the market. He saw some sadhus. They were all under hunger. He spent the money for their food and he returned to his house because his father will beat him much without getting anything. He didn't come home. He didn't return. They were searching for Guru Nanak Ji. The night, when they went there, under a tree, he was sitting. He didn't see others. He was in penance. Then his father and then other people, they went and asked me, why you are here? I don't want to till the land. I want to till the mind of people. Likewise, Mahakavi Bharati till the mind of people, that is Nilattai Uluvavan Manithan Manattai Uluvavan Maha. That is the second book written by me. So, you know, Mahakavi Bharati is still in our memory because of his poems, not only poems, by his essays, by his short stories, by his various types of poems. He is a journalist, Mahakavi Bharatiya. A nationalist, a patriot, a journalist, a poet, essay writer, what not. You know, he's a multifaceted personality. That's the second book. Third one, Pudumai Pen Padaitha Punniyan. Today morning, our director gave me a good opportunity to go to the Imam market. Yamma market. Amma. That what is the meaning for it? Then they told me Amma. See, here in market, in Manipur, I really wondered. All that sellers are women. They took a major role in Manipur, selling the products in the market. If Bharati had seen this, he would be very much happy. Because he sang songs, number of poems on women emancipation, women empowerment. He created a new type of women with all progressive thoughts, that is called Pudumai Pen. I wrote a book about 180 pages. Pudumai Pen Padaitha Punniyan. That's the title in Tamil, right? Then another one, human development thoughts in Mahakavi Bharati. These are all the 4 books. Why I am telling this, you know? Mahakavi Bharati, such a great. See, there are only 2 persons added Maha. How? Maha Admi, Mahatma Gandhi. Maha Admi who? Mahatma Gandhi. You know, Mahatma Gandhi was called by Mahatma by Mahakavi Bharatiya. There is a song in Tamil. Just I will say in Tamil, then I will give you the English translation. You know? தாழ்வுற்று வறுமை மிஞ்சி விடுதலை தவறி கெட்டு பாழ்பட்டு நின்றதாம் ஓர் பாரத தேசம் தன்னை வாழ்விக்க வந்த மகாத்மா நீ வாழ்க வாழ்க வாழ்க. Who sang this? Mahakavi Bharatiyar. On whom? Mahatma Gandhi. What he said? Long live Mahatma, long live Mahatma. Said by whom? Mahakavi Bharatiyar. See how that is the thing. In addition, Mahakavi, Mahatma Gandhi, a great national poet, Mahakavi. Why? Maha means great. Among all the poets, he has been called as Mahakavi, keeping its value and significance. The first song compiled in this book, first song is Vande Madaram Yenbom, Ungal Manila Thayai Vanangudum Yenbom, first song. Right? Next, see, in that song you must understand the meaning in it. ஆயிரம் உண்டிங்கு ஜாதி எனில் அந்நியர் வந்து புகழ் என்ன நீதி ஓர் தாயின் வயிற்றில் பிறந்தோம் ஓர் தாயின் வயிற்றில் பிறந்தோம் தமிழ் சண்டைகள் செய்தாலும் சகோதரர். We are all brothers. We will fight each other, but no other country should interfere in our country. That's what Mahakavi Bharati says. National integration is a unity in diversity. He maintained in a very big song in Tamil. Just I am quoting here and there. See, in that song, he emphasizes unity in diversity, national integration. He emphasizes national integration. So national integration does not mean in uniformity in action, but unity in thinking. Unity in thinking can be achieved only through equality in feelings. Equality in feelings will be occurred only in the absence of differentiation and discrimination. This was well said in this Vande Mataram poem, right? Next one I wanted to inform you is very, very important one. Bharata Desam endru peyar solluvar. Excellent song. Bharata Desam endru peyar solluvar. Midi bayangolluvar. Tuyar pagai velluvar. Shall we sing? I think you are already tired. Sit erect and sing well. Bharata Desam endru. Come on. Again. Bharata Desam என்று பாரத தேசம் என்று பெயர் சொல்லுவார் மீடி பயங்கொள்ளுவார் தூயர் பகை வெல்லுவார். Again, பாரத தேசம் என்று பெயர் சொல்லுவார் மீடி பயங்கொள்ளுவார் தூயர் பகை வெல்லுவார். I am not going to further. You know, it's only 2 lines, but kindly know the meaning. Because of my louder voice, I am not compelling you to tell, but at the same time you must realize the meaning of it and pronounce. Understand? Right? You just know the meaning, then you will appreciate. Because tomorrow you have to write a poem like this, even better than this. That is what Mahakavi says. He never says, don't repeat my words. Instead, you create your own. That creativity, that novelty was promoted by Mahakavi Bharatiya. So that Bharatidasan, Surada, another Kavingir. There is a follow-up, parampara. Next generation-wise generation. See, what's the meaning? You know, Bharata Desam endru peyar solluvar. India is called as Bharatam. Who says Bharatam? Mahakavi Bharatiya. Bharata Desam endru peyar solluvar. We are calling India as a Bharatam. Midi bayam kolluvar. Only to midi bayam kolluvar. That means 3 words. Midi means laziness. Avoid laziness. Midi, laziness. You must avoid laziness to be active, right? 1 word, midi. Bayam, fear. Avoid fear. So, avoid laziness, then you will be active. Avoid fear, then you must have a valor. Awake. So, valor. Then, midi, bayam, kolluvar. You must avoid, you must destroying, not kolluna, does not give the correct one, not destroy. You avoid fear and laziness, right? Tuyar pagai velluvar. Sorrows and sufferings by British imperialism. So to make you free from them, let us all sing Bharata Desam endru peyar solluvar midi bayangolluvar tuyar pagai velluvar. Excellent song. Right. I wanted to conclude by saying 10 mantras to you. Only 10. Said by whom? Mahakavi Bharati. You know, morals are said by single word, single sentence. Not single word, single sentence. 1 sentence. Minimum 2 words, 2 or 3 words, moral words, that is called Athichudi in Tamil. Athichudi means morals conveyed by the poets in single line. Minimum 2 words, maximum 3 or 4 words, not more than that. See how, even if 1 moral, you can write many number of stories. What he says, Acham Tavir. Avoid fear. Already I told you. This is what Acham Tavir. Baya Chode. Baya Chode. Then, Udalinai Urudisai. Ensure good physique. If you have got a good physique, you will be very bold, you will have confidence, courage and competence. So, Udalinai Urudisai. Unmiga Virumbu. Only 10 words. Acham Tavir. Shall we say together? Then that final will be over. Come on, right from the beginning. Acham Tavir. No. Good. All should pronounce. Nobody should be omitted. Acham Tavir. No, sir. Acham Tavir. Avoid fear. Baya Chode. So one is over. Number 2. Udalinai Urudisai. Udalinai Urudisai. Ensure good physique. शरीरों को, come on, शरीरों को दूढ़ बनाए. Yeah, शरीर को दूढ़ बनाए. Right. ऊन मिगा विरंबे. Come on, ऊन मिगा विरंबे. मरबड़ी ऊन means food. Already time is over, I know. Food. food. ऊन मिगा बहुत. ऊन मिगा विरंबे. Love your food. Love your food. Then मन लगाकर खाने. मन लगाकर खाने. This is a Hindi version of that poem. Which one? ஊன் மிக விரும்பு. Then எண்ணுவது உயர்வு. Come on, say எண்ணுவது. எண்ணுவது உயர்வு. Think of great. Anything, think of great. Think of great. Come on, say, think of great. Then, श्रेष्ठ विचार उन्नति है. उन्नत है. श्रेष्ठ विचार मीन थॉट. श्रेष्ठ विचार उन्नत है. ஏறு போல் நட. ஏறு போல் நட. Walk majestically. This I already told you. Walk majestically. See Hindi version. Virshpa ki tarah. Virshpa na, you know. Madu ermai. Virshpa ki तरह गंभीरता चले. गंभीरता चले. marching, as I told you earlier. Then ஐம்பொறி ஆட்சிகள். Again I will tell you, I know. ஐம்பொறி ஆட்சிகள். ஐம்பொறி ஆட்சிகள். See, this is an excellent word. You must keep it in mind. See, we have got 5 senses. What? Eye, nose, mouth, ear, body. 5 senses. All these should be controlled by wisdom. Wisdom checks the straying senses, expels evils, impels goodness. It's a poem. Shall we sing? Wisdom checks the straying senses. Come on. Wisdom checks the... No. Wisdom. Check. Wisdom checks the straying senses. Expels evils. Impels goodness. See, this is said by Thiruvalluvar. See, he wrote in Tamil. I gave you the English translation. You know what happened? Wisdom Mahakavi Bharati, Chariot of Wisdom. He wrote one book, Chariot of Wisdom, Mahakavi Bharati. Here, mind it, wisdom checks the straying senses, expels evils, impels goodness. So, all the 5 organs should be controlled by knowledge, wisdom. If the wisdom controls, see, today you listen to this talk, your knowledge should say. Otherwise, you will be looking another side. Your ear will be seeing another one hearing. Likewise. So, you must concentrate, that concentration given by the knowledge. So, wisdom checks the straying senses through 5 organs. This should be controlled by whom? By knowledge. Wisdom. Right. That's what Mahakavi says. You must control your organs. 5 senses. Right. This is only 6th one. 4 more are there. Control, listen, control, that is, have control over 5 senses. Right. Panchentriyam par niyantran rakhe. Panchentriyam par niyantran rakhe. Then, oidal ori. Oidal means laziness. As I said earlier, avoid laziness, oidal ori. Discard laziness, alasya chode. Audadam kurai, reduce medicine. Don't be confined with the medicines. That means have good physique, eat timely, likewise. So, audadam kurai, resort not to medicines. Aushat kam kare. Vedam pudumai sai. Last 9th. Vedam pudumai sai. Interpret the scriptures anew. Interpret the scriptures anew. Vedon ki naveen vyakya kare. Vedon ki naveen vyakya kare. Vaya talamai. Acquire world leadership. Who says? Mahakavi Bharati says. Vishwa ka netratva sambhale. So, these 10 morals, I will request you to keep it in your diary. First of all, you register in your mind. If you register these 10 morals in your mind, you can browse it as and when it is required. See, our human brain is a supercomputer. You must read, retain, and reproduce as and when it is required, for which your supercomputer, your brain will be useful to you. So I request, can we recollect 1 to 10 quickly with quick revision. Acham tavir, come on. Acham tavir, உடலினை உறுதி செய், ஊன்மிக விரும்பி, எண்ணுவது உயர்வு, ஏறுபோல் நட, ஐம்பொறி ஆட்சிகள், ஓய்தல் ஒழி, வேதம் புதுமை செய், வையத் தலைமைகள். Be smart always. Thank you. See what happened, these 10 proverbs. I told you, initially, raise your hand. Come on. Another 1 minute, I will finish, not now. Thank you. See, what I am going to insist here. Initially, when I started my lecture, I started with the aspire, acquire, achieve. Not only here. I used to conduct workshops on personality development in varied colleges, even for the senior professionals in varied departments, like the electricity board, highways department. Wherever I am invited, I go there and tell them these 3 slogans. Don't think so, it's only 3. In each word, aspire, acquire, achieve, like Swami Vivekananda said what he said. Arise, away, and stop not till you reach the goal, he said. Then I thought, why not I coin one more, three more? Aspire, acquire, achieve, aspire. You have to dream first. Your dream should be made into reality. Is it so easy? You have to work hard. So what all you are aspiring, try to acquire. After acquiring it, don't be confined with the only after getting your seat here. It is not enough if you have an admission here. After joining the course, you must excel yourself. Then only, who is talking there? Listen here. See, after getting your seat, you have to learn with all devotion, dedication. That is important. So that your money will be valued, spent by your parents. Think over. So, it is not enough acquiring seat or admission in the college. After joining the courses, try to learn more. 3 things are needed. Keen observation, plus intelligent thought, plus persistent search for truth gives progress. What are the 3 steps? Whatever you observe, keen observation. It is not enough only observing the things. You must realize. You must analyze. So, keen observation, intelligent thought. What all you are observing, put your mind on it. Whether is it correct or not. So, apply your mind. Then, persistent search for truth. That is research. You must search again and again. That is important. So, A cube. I always say, don't be confined with the A cube alone. Have I cube. What is that I cube? Initiate, innovate, inculcate. Initiate, innovate, inculcate. Be initiative. When you are attending this workshop or this seminar or Maha Utsav, attend to the lecture very well. When you go back, what gained by you? What all the gain? For example, Bharati Bhaskar spoke earlier. What she said, what Dr. Cheyon said, think over. That is the thing, you are taking it back. Meet with joy, part with thought of learned men. This is the art of life, said by Thiruvalluvar. To meet with joy, part with thought of learned men. This is the art of life. So you must have initiation, initiative. It is not only enough initiative. You must be innovative. Your approach should be more in innovation. That is what in technical courses people are insisting you. Next, then inculcative. You must communicate more effectively and efficiently. Whatever you learned, you make others understand. Then you are again refined. So communication is an art. Transformation of information, attitude, entertainment from one person to another person through some means, through some media is called communication. You can arrest the entire audience by your intellectual eloquence, not by my words or sentences or by poems, but think. Lecture need not detail the subject, but to knock the door of the mind. So, initiative, informative, so initiative, innovative and inculcative. Then last one, M, motivation, mobilization, then management. If you motivate your youngsters, your team builder, your team workers, so motivate, mobilize, manage. If you are practicing this A cube, I cube, M cube, 9 traits of success, you will be successful. Yes for success. So, I request all the youngsters in this Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav, Mahakavi Bharati's 143rd birthday celebrations. I am extremely happy and grateful to you for listening to me and pronouncing most of the slogans in Tamil with all enthusiasm. I am very happy and grateful to you, but be remember, aim, A cube, I cube, M cube. If you add 9 traits, aspire, acquire, achieve, initiate, innovate, inculcative, motivate, mobilize, manage. If you do this, you will be successful. 10. Right? Another one. So, what I request, be remember. You know what happened? I am delivering this lecture not only to you. When I delivered lecture in a small tiny village with the first to third standard students, first to fifth standard students, what happened, you know? But I spoke in Tamil to their level. To whom? First to third, fifth standard. I told aspire, acquire, achieve, AQ. After a week, because we have adopted a village, Sarnos, in Chennai. After a week, by my car I went to that place. When I got down from my car, some children came. What they told, you know? Hey, A cube master is going, sir. Can you understand? First to third standard, I'm finished. A cube master is going. That is the thing. So, all the 9 plus 1, success. So, think of success, dream of success, aspire success, toil for success, then success will be yours forever. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your enriching words and for bringing to life the brilliance and contributions of Subramanyam Bharti. Now, carrying forward, to guide us further with his insightful words, we now invite Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, Director of IIIT Senapati Manipur, to deliver the presidential speech.
The chief guest of today's program and my friend Dr. Seyon, who spoke about a glittering star of national poet, that is Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati, and other distinguished speaker and writer, and also a banker, and she spoke on the man who was ahead of his time. See, we think ahead of our time. That only you can create a great future, no? That is what Mahakavi Bharati has done that. That's what she addressed. And then most distinguished faculty members, my dear students, press and media, good afternoon. I know that it's very getting late for your lunch. All of you are in hunger. Because Bharati said, I told you, no, if one person is without food, you have to destroy the world. தனி ஒரு மனிதனுக்கு உணவில்லையே ஜகத்தினை அழித்திடுவோம். But you all are having food ready. Therefore, nothing to worry. One day you can be little late also. And you know, normally when we talk about the tube comes to a last speaker, he always finds difficulties to speak. Because many of the earlier speakers are already spoken about the topic and he will find difficult to speak. But when you come to Mahakavi Bharati, you can speak 24/7. You can speak all over the year, and years together, you can speak volumes and volumes. That is what Mahakavi Bharati. There are many things which these two distinct speakers not touched upon. Therefore, we can continue to speak on. And I just tell you the brief history of Mahakavi Bharati. As a youngster, you should know, because when you talk about this Mahakavi Bharati, he was born in a small, tiny village in the south of this nation, the southmost part of this nation, which is close to the Kanyakumari, in the districts of Tirunelveli. The village name is called Ettayapuram. It is called Ettayapuram. where you can see the house which is lived in those days is still preserved. His books are maintained. When I was a Vice Chancellor of Manoanmanin Sundarnar University, we used to celebrate on every 11th December about his birth anniversary. We adopted that library, we maintain that, we employ a person and we pay him to maintain that library. That is where this Ettayapuram, that is the birthplace of Mahakavi Bharati, who born on 11th December 1882. And then, you see, he born in a poor Brahmin family, and then he had problems in early childhood to space his livelihood, and he has to convince his wife, but he always moving around to awake the people of this country against the British through his poems. You know why this country we are celebrating today, this Bharatiya Bhasha Maha Utsav is, if you want to awake your people, you have to speak with them in their native language, in the mother tongue. Because when you talk in your mother tongue, the power of the language is much, much higher than you talk in somebody's language. And that is why this country, as our earlier speaker also said, the integration doesn't mean, the unity doesn't mean you speak one language, you adopt one culture. It is multilingualism and multiculture where you have unity. That is the greatness of this Bharat. The whole world was admiring how these Indians are together. They don't understand the language of neighboring state, they don't understand what they speak, but they are united. It's amazing. And still nobody understood, because that is what our culture, our legacy, that is how we lived in the past and how we are going to live and continue with that. And that is why in the new education policy also, it emphasized that the early childhood should be, your learning should be through your mother tongue. Because many times, even when you speak in English, when you speak in other language, your thinking process is always in your mother tongue. Because you think much better in your own language, where at your early age, where the mother used to speak with that language. Therefore, when you think in your own language, and then you see, you can have a creative ideas, you can have an innovation, and then the innovations leads to invention, inventions leads to development, development makes a great nation. And that is why the new education policy also emphasizes that, because once you study up to 12th, or even I can say up to 10th, that is what the fundamentals of all your mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, whatever it is. Even your language also. Whatever you go after that is advanced one, that you can learn through any language, it doesn't matter. Therefore, it is very, very important that we learn through our mother tongue at the early childhood. That is what even Bharati also emphasized. So he is very passionate about various languages in the country, and then he was very much interested in Hindu theology, and then he could travel to Varanasi in those days, and then he considered the sister Nivedita. He used to meet in Calcutta in those days. And then, you know, the sister Nivedita is a disciple of Swami Vivekananda. And according to the Bharati, when you ask who is your Guru, my Guru is Sister Nivedita. That is the kind of fascinated about Sister Nivedita. He was inspired by her the way she was talking to Mahakavi Bharati when he was traveling to West Bengal. And he always talks about the whole country, the whole world. That's why I said, Tani oru manidhanukku udavillayil inda jagathinai ezhuthiduvom. He is not talking about only in Tamil Nadu or India, the world. Okay. And then such a great poet, you know, and he delivered his last speech in September 1921 in a place called Erode. You know what was the topic of this? His topic in Erode he delivered. The human being is an eternal. Human beings are eternal. The man is an eternal. That's what is topic of this lecture. As already the speaker spoke, like he was not only a novelist, and he is also editor of many popular journals in those times. The news lines like Hindu and Sudeshamitran and so on. Such a great poet. He used to feed one elephant in a place called Thiruvallikeni in Chennai, and you can see that one of the oldest temple called Parthasarathy temple. It's near Marina Beach. The second world's longest beach in the world is in Chennai, that is called Marina Beach. In a walkable distance from there, there is a temple called Parthasarathy temple, and he used to feed that elephant every day, and one day on the elephant made him to die, the same elephant, and after a few days of illness, he passed away from this place on 12th September 1921 at the age of 38. It's amazing, no? Whatever we are talking about at the age of 18, 19, I think Bharati Bhaskar was telling about his age, and he was talking about the women empowerment at the age of 19. He was talking about the poverty, he was talking about the integration of the nation. He writes very nice poems in those days. Okay, I will conclude with one song, one nice song with a nice tune also. I will just repeat that song in Tamil, and I will try to tell in English how the Mahakavi Bharati was interested to connect the Kerala with Gujarat, Maharashtra, Ganges, Tamil Nadu and Kaveri. It's a beautiful song. Such a beautiful song, and I just wanted to play now for you. And see, it connects very nicely. Can you increase the volume? See, he connects Sindhu with Kerala girls, right? Sundara Telinganil Baptisaithu. Okay, that means he is talking about the beautiful language of Telugu. See, by birth, he is a Tamilian. You see, you should have a courage to say good about others, you know. And he says Sundara Telinganil Baptisaithu. That means we have to sing a song in Telugu because the Telugu language is very beautiful. With whom? Along with the girls of Kerala. Where? In Sindhu River. With the music. You see how we are connecting things, right? Thodigal means we'll go in a boat.
நதிபுறத்து கோதுமை பண்டம் கங்கை நதிபுறத்து
says, near the Ganges, there are lot of wheat is growing. Let us exchange those wheat products to the betel leaves which are growing in the river banks of Kaveri. The Kaveri flows from Karnataka through Tamil Nadu and reaches the Bay of Bengal. You see, in those age, at the age of 20, 21, he talks about the wheat in the Ganges, around the Ganges. I think it's north place, all are wheat, only wheat. In south, it is very popular on any ceremonial, auspicious occasions, people chew betel leaves. Okay, he was talking about that.
மராட்டியர்த்தம் கவிதை கொண்டு தேரத்து சந்தங்கள் பரிசளிப்போம் சிங்க மராட்டியர்த்தம் கவிதை கொண்டு தேரத்து சந்தங்கள்.
He talks about the lion Marathians songs can be exchanged with the tusk of Kerala elephants. He is connecting Maharashtra and Kerala. Okay.
இந்து நதியின் மிசை நிலவினே சேரண நாட்டிடம் பெண்களுடனே சுந்தர தெலுங்கினில் பாட்டிசைத்து கோழிகளோட்டி விளையாடி வரும்.
There are very good Telugu boys and girls, they will understand this one, they will translate it. Huh?
నీ కంకణరాగం మన ఈ వైభోగం తలపుల ఉల్లాసం వదలిన అవకాశం సాగరి గురు சிங்களத்தீவினுக்கோர் பாலம் அமைப்போம் சேதுவை மேடுருத்தி வீதிசமைப்போம் சிங்களத்தீவினுக்கோர் பாலம் அமைப்போம் சேதுவை மேடுருத்தி வீதிசமைப்போம்.
See, he is not only talking about India, he says that let us make a bridge between India and Sri Lanka. You have heard about Sedu. Let us make it as a way to go to Sri Lanka. Therefore, he is not talking about only India, he is talking about all neighborhood also, right? That is how, because the neighborhoods also very important. That's what today the present government talks about Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and the Maldives. because our neighborhood was very, very important, which he has told 120 years ago. Okay, that's what our today's the foreign policy of the present government of India. And that is why you can see that very frequently our Prime Minister and the external ministers are all traveling, right?
பக்கத்தில் ஓடி வரும் நீர் மிகையால் மையத்து நாடுகளில் பக்கத்தில் ஓடி வரும் நீர் மையத்து நாடுகளில்
He talks about, you see, every year there is a lot of water is being wasted from Ganges and Brahmaputra going to the Bay of Bengal. He says that let us utilize that water for the world to cultivate. He's not talking about only in India for, you see, he's talking about water preservation 120 years ago. He's not only talking about water preservation, what people are talking about connecting the national rivers, perennial rivers. We have been talking, of course some developments are happening. Even Abdul Kalam ji also used to say that we have to connect the Ganges and Kaveri so that the country can rich with its agriculture products. And he 120 years ago not only thought about connecting the surplus water to the rest of the country where the water is not there, he wanted to see that the water is reaching all the parts of the world wherever there is no water, so that the world is with fertility, with fertile, and the people can live very happily. That is the wisdom. That is the thought of the great Mahakavi Bharat. Therefore, that is the reason why we celebrate his birth anniversary of 143rd birth anniversary of Mahakavi Bharati as a Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav. Because he thought the Bharatiya Bhashas are very important to awaken the people, like the youngsters like you, to make you a great person, because if you become a great person, you make this country as a great, and you can make this country as a great country, as a Viksit Bharat by 2047, right? That is the very objective of why we are celebrating today this Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav, okay? And I think you had lot of things about Mahakavi Bharati, and as I chief guest told, I asked him to bring some books in English, and also a couple of them are in Hindi also. We are going to keep them in our library. Try to find some time, try to read them. During your free time, you will get very much inspired. You feel that you got a new energy after reading his poems, after reading his thoughts, and that is the kind of content he has made in the form of poems and then in the form of his writings. And I am trying to keep all his poems and writings. I think today the Honorable Prime Minister also released all the poems, writings and compilations of Mahakavi Bharati done by one Mr. Viswanathan. And I think if you read the newspaper today, and our Honorable Prime Minister is releasing that compilation of Mahakavi Bharati, I will also buy those kind of compilations, and I would like to keep in our library and try to find some time, read them, get awaken yourself, so that you grow, you make this institute to grow, you make the world, country to grow, the world to grow. With these few words, I thank you each and every one of you for your patience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring address and for presiding over this special occasion. I now request Saloni to come up on podium and declare the results of various competitions held on the occasion of Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav.
A very warm greetings to everyone. We now have the prize distribution ceremony. To honor the winners of various competitions held as part of Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav 2024, I request our dignitaries to kindly present the awards. First up in line, we have the winners for the pencil sketching competition. The first prize for the pencil sketching competition goes to Nishant Singh. Nishant Singh portrayed a beautiful sketch of Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. Nishant Singh would be receiving a cash prize of rupees 5,000. Second prize for the pencil sketch competition goes to Dhruv Tandon. Dhruv Tandon will be receiving a cash prize of rupees 3,000. The third prize for the pencil sketch competition goes to B. Rutvik. B. Rutvik will be receiving a cash prize of rupees 2,000. For the fourth prize, there's a tie between Rishabh Kumar and Rohit Singh. Rishabh Kumar and Rohit Singh will be receiving a cash prize of 1,000 each.
Rishabh Kumar always get money, no? But this time he was put back to fourth position. But it doesn't mean that, because as I told you at the beginning, it was very difficult and challenging task for the judges to judge who is first. But I thought that again this fellow is going to get first prize, but I don't know how come the judge impressed only on the first guy who is got the first prize, and then this has moved to the fourth prize. I think he has seen a movie of Bharati, where his face is also resemblance of the hero of that Bharati movie. Okay, you get the fourth prize of 1,000 rupees. Okay, very good. Now, the another consolation prize, the fourth prize, goes to Rohit Singh. Imagine what will be the fourth prize? What is this sketch he has made? Again, it goes to the Mahakavi Bharati. Look at the mustache. What is it? Therefore, the Rohit Singh gets the fourth prize and with a cash prize of 1,000 rupees discount. Okay, all the best.
Next, we had the quiz competition. To summarize the quiz competition, more than 20 students participated in the quiz competition, out of which 4 teams qualified for the final rounds. And the winners for the quiz competition are the team Roman Jakobsen. I request the team members to please come up on the stage. Love Yadav and Pratyush Pandey. Love Yadav and Pratyush Pandey will be receiving a cash prize of rupees 5,000.
Pratyush Pandey and Love Yadav, the name tells he's a very lovely boy, right? All should jealous of him, no? All the love goes only to Love Yadav. And then Pratyush Pandey, very smart, active guy, yeah? Look at his hairstyle, no?
The second prize for the quiz competition goes to the team Edward Sapir. I request the teammates to please come up on the stage. The team members are Sachin Jani and Aryan Singh Vishes. Sachin Jani and Aryan Singh will be receiving a cash prize of rupees 3,000. The third prize for the quiz competition goes to the team Ferdinand D. Sasur. I request the team members to please come up on the stage, Shaurya Sharma and Abhinav Tripathi. They will be receiving a cash prize of rupees 2,000. It was all for today. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the program will over within next 5 minutes, but I want to make one comment. You know, this Mahakavi Bharati is always worried and talking about the women empowerment. Because he used to say that the women are used to lock. Those days have gone. The woman has to come out and study, and then the woman should have an equal rights like men. But unfortunately, no women, no girls participated in the sketching, and then no girl participated in the competition, quiz competition. I am really very sad. I don't want to see this situation in the next events. I want all the girl students to actively participate. You are the mothers of the world. You can empower the world. Try to participate and get more prizes. You can do it. Definitely can do much better than what these boys can do it, okay? The women can do much mother, because the women only carry the boy and girl. Man cannot carry a boy and girl, no? Only a female gives the birth to the boy, not the male gives the birth to a female. That the female is more powerful. You can do much more, eh? And in next time I want to see all females also participating, yeah?
As we are near the conclusion of this wonderful event, I invite Dr. Pradeep Kanti ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege and honor to extend the vote of thanks on behalf of IIIT Manipur. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Kalai Mamani, Dr. Seyon, former director, AIR, founder, secretary, MTS Academy, Chennai, for gracing this event with his presence and for the brilliant speech. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to extend my special thanks to our guest of honor, Mrs. Bharati Bhaskar, banker, motivational speaker and writer, for the excellent speech. I would also like to convey my gratitude to our esteemed director, Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, for his unwavering support and encouragement. I would like to convey my heartfelt appreciation to all the participants in quiz and sketch competitions, and a big round of applause to the winners. I would like to express my gratitude to the media representatives present with us. Your dedication helps bring such initiatives to a broader audience. Last but not the least, I would also like to thank the teaching, non-teaching and students of IIIT Manipur for their enormous cooperation and support. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for the vote of thanks. Now, to end this event on a patriotic note, let us all stand for the national anthem.
I'll say. Hey, just listen, last announcement. I think your snacks is also waiting outside, and collect the snacks and go for your lunch. Sit down, sit down. And one more announcement is today, and we are screening a movie on Bharati, and at 6 o'clock in the evening, and all the students and the faculty and faculty family members can join here at 6 o'clock. And in the break time, you will get nice snacks, hopefully with popcorn also, and enjoy the evening movie at 6 o'clock. All are requested to come and join.
Thank you, everyone.